first tomorrow morning thing in the woods. Watch out for the bridge. Single word for it. And if you look over here on my right-hand side, you can stand up here if you want to look. But if you look at the base of the island, this whole island on the right side of the boat is actually made out of the roots of that tree. That cypress tree. It's cool. The whole island is made out of the root. But it's really cool because the island is naturally heart-shaped. That's a heart-shaped, root-made island. And it's nicknamed Marriage Island. It's supposed to be good luck if you guys get married or engaged, or even go on a date. Marriage Island. We have over 300 weddings on our little heart-shaped island every year. That is a very impressive, very made-up number. It's pretty good. We're just gonna roll with it. Think on God alone. I have no idea how many weddings it actually is, but it really is a lot of weddings back there. I have 3 of them back there myself, you know. I know that if you don't have that famous Marriage Island look, you know, things aren't going so well for you back there. Very convenient distance from Marriage Island is this big, pointy red building up here in front of us with the green roof. That's Divorce Island. That's the Bear County Courthouse right there, man. That was a lot less lucky, you know, but it's liberating. It's kind of cool. It's also the oldest continuously operating courthouse in Texas, opened up back in 1896. On the left side, we have the Tower Life Insurance Building. You got that beautiful American flag up there at the top. Right below that gorgeous banner of freedom, we actually have some gargoyles sticking out of those top couple floors up there. See those gargoyles up there? Cool, right? If you look down here a little bit lower, look right underneath this bottom row of windows, and you have these pairs of ugly, evil-looking little faces. Those faces right there are called grotesque. Now all these little details are put in there because the guys who built this thing were really superstitious. And they believed that all of that would ward off bad business and evil spirits. It's kind of funny because the entire building is currently full of lawyers, insurance salesmen, people like that. The real irony is they opened it in 1929. I hope that you guys have learned that there's sure my kids might right out the window of the arm. They opened it in June 1929. And does anybody know what happened in America back in 1929? Yeah, well done. This is the first boat from probably like, oh, they're right. October 1929, stock market crash, and we entered the Great Depression. And these guys spent over $3 million building it. They opened up just a few months to it, bankrupt. They had to sell this entire skyscraper to the city for $240,000. Crazy good deal for the city. You look at it, it kind of looks like a ship coming into the river. Then you got the bow and the mast up there. It's angled towards the river. It's a great design, great location, great deal for the city. Beautiful building. You look up here in front of us, you have a little archway. This is a drawbridge style floodgate. There's a drawbridge that comes up out of the water right here, and it cuts off the flow to this part of the river, then it never floods inside this natural horseshoe bend. Instead, all the floodwaters go out there to the man-made flood channel. And this flood channel out here is the deepest part of the river. It's 26 feet deep out here. Safe to say, entirely man-made. That's something flooding. It used to flood there really bad. On September 9th, 1921, we had a flood that killed over 50 people. And it caused millions of dollars damage. If you look at these 2 bridges up here in front of us, the floodwaters were so bad, they were all the way up 12 feet over the top of these bridges. 12 feet over the street level. It's crazy. And it came through with Robert H. Shotcut, the chief architect that designed this system. He put in the flood channel and the floodgate, and now we have to control the level of water all year by just letting water in or out with the other natural parts of the river. It's too easy. The river starts about 4 miles north of here, spring fed by the Edward Aquifer, and then it flows down south behind us about 138 miles and reaches the Guadalupe. And 10 miles further east is the Gulf of Mexico. Now, as we come out from underneath this bridge, everybody look at me real quick. And look away from me. I know it's hard to do, you know, but right back here above my head, you got a chain link fence and a bunch of locks on it. You get married in that little chapel right there, you're supposed to come out here to this fence and put your lock on the fence. Then you lock it, and you throw your key into the deepest part of the river to symbolize your everlasting eternal love. Now my favorite part about all that key, what's really close to those locks? I want to say at least like 60% of those lots up there are combination lots. We're too sure, I guess. I don't know the logic in there, but it's still cute. It's called a lot of love. It saves you some money on bolt covers, or single gear rentals. So your second row. That's called the lock and the little San Antonio position right there. Over here on our left-hand side, there's some stairs coming to you. And the stairs on the left will take you up and out to the oldest church in Texas. The oldest cathedral, oldest Spanish cathedral in the entire country. This is the San Fernando Cathedral, or the San Fernando Cathedral. Great history, great architecture up there. General Santa Anna had all of his men lined up there before the Battle of the Alamo, all 4,000 of his troops. They raised the red flag of no quarter. The defenders of the Alamo responded with the famous come and take your flag from Gonzales, Texas. Cannon fire. It's all a really cool history. You know, you go check it out. Tonight is a great night to do it. You know, on Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights at 9 o'clock p.m., they broadcast a laser light show on the side of the cathedral. It's super cool. It's super free. Or super Friday. Check that out. It's like a brief little history of San Antonio. It's called the Saga. It's about 30 minutes long. Like 3 times a night, from 9 till 10:30 on Tuesdays and weekends. Martes y en la fin de semana. Very cool. Main Plaza right there. Jury Plaza Hotel back there used to be the Alamo City Bank building. Historic hotel right there. Up here in front of us here, this gigantic tree coming to view. At our 12 o'clock last in front of the boat, that is the oldest tree on the river. It's a twin cypress tree, estimated to be about 350 years old. It's nicknamed the cypress tree. During the Texas Revolution, a Mexican soldier would climb into that tree with his rifle. They would pick off all the Texas cavalry as they watered their horses down here on the river. It's over 100 feet tall, 45 feet and right here, the green archway is a guillotine-style footgate. It's got a 3-ton steel door above your head. They come crashing down every Friday at 3:12 p.m. You cut off the flow of water and make sure it never floods inside the horseshoe. If it really floods, you can. That'd be a stupid system. It really is a 3-ton steel door. It really is a guillotine. You definitely do not use it on Fridays at 3:12. Every few years, we will actually close both of these floodgates here, and we'll drain out the entire Riverwalk to clean it. Right? Even though it's natural, this is where all the people are. So after a while, all the trash, the debris, the beer bottles, the cell phones, the bodies, they all just kind of pile up. Gotta keep it clean out here. So we do our best to maintain it every couple of years. On the right hand side, you have a lot of construction going on with this new hotel we just built and this new one being built. They're both being built up and around this little tavern down here. Everything else got torn down, but nobody could touch the Esquire Tavern right here in the middle. It's the oldest tavern on the river, one of the oldest freestanding bars in Texas. It opened up back in 1933, on the exact same day that we lifted 12 prohibition. So the moment that alcohol became legal in America, they opened their doors with a fully stocked bar. Nobody has any questions there as to where all that liquor came from in like 5 minutes, you know. Before that, during Prohibition, that was the most popular barber shop in all of San Antonio. The Esquire barber shop in years. The whole bottom floor is still set up like an old-time speakeasy and toy shop. And ahead of us up here on the right-hand side, up here in front of the boat, we're passing by another one of our world-famous stationary tools. You guys know what that feels like. So, these guys on this boat really wish they were moving. But they're not, and you are. Just kind of smile and wave smugly to rub it in, and your boat's moving. That's just an over. This is the Aztec Theater right here, another one of our ticketing locations. The same thing you're doing, this is the starts and ends. Right next to that's the Aztec. The cool Aztec canopy on top of the theater, and lots of history in there, live entertainment. Cool stuff. I feel like up here in front of us, the stone footbridge right here. This is the famous Salina Bridge. They shot a scene for the movie Salina, starring Jennifer Lopez, right there on that bridge. All right, 1997, we had J-Lo come to San Antonio. and park her most valuable asset right up there on top of that bridge, man. Sacred ground to our city, very historic to our culture. It's mainly one of those because in real life, the Untitled singer Selena actually got engaged up there. It's a really popular spot now for proposals and engagements, all kinds of cute stuff like that. On the left-hand side, this big white hotel is the Omni Amanción Hotel. Opened up back in 1853 as the St. Mary's School for Boys. Eventually grew into St. Mary's University, a very prestigious law school. They got moved to the west side, where it still remains today. It became the Omni La Mansión. The old hotel actually down here on the river level. Now, as cool as that is, in 5 years you're probably not going to remember the Omni, or my name, or like 90% of the stuff I'm talking about. I'm sure it's all going in one ear and the other. But I will bet each one of you guys $100. Remember this next building up here on my left-hand side. That's partly because if you think about it, you really can't lose that bet. You know, it's also pretty cool. This building right here is kind of like an optical illusion. If you look at it just right. You gotta look at it just right. So I'm gonna go really slow, and right as you come out from the bridge, I want you to look straight to my left and all the way up to the top left side of the building. It looks like it's two-dimensional. We're not now in front of it. Almost like a big brick wall. It's like the first skyscraper. Look how wild. Really unique. Now it's not actually two-dimensional. That would be stupid. That would make no sense, right? That's the Nick's Hospital. That was San Antonio's very first full-service hospital, built back in 1930. It was the first hospital in Texas where they built a bar in on the bottom floor. It's a very fun kind of hospital. A very productive. You all know who Carol Burnett is? Carol Burnett is from San Antonio. She was born right there in the city. First hospital in the entire country to have fully centralized air conditioning. That was a huge waste of time, because obviously it never ever gets hot in San Antonio. It's crisp and cool like this all year round. Look at the crisp 95 degrees. It's like the sweaters in here. They got a lot of cool little bars and restaurants all around us out here. A lot of good food, fun drinks, live music. Harley Davidson shop, McDonald's. You got Mad Dog, British pub in front of us. They always got live music in there on a Friday or Saturday night. Right across here, there's a really cool little oyster bar called On the Bench. We got great oysters in the half shell, really cool drinks, oyster shooters. We got a little jazz band that'll play there. Great music, great vibes. This hotel up here in front of us on the left side where these bands are, these bars. This is the Hyatt Regency. The Hyatt is unique because it's a very short, stubby hotel. You don't see that very often with newer buildings. They build things to be wider than it is tall. Because it costs a lot more money to buy more land than it does to build a taller hotel. They built it like that after 2 full years of shadow testing to make sure that it wouldn't cast a shadow on the Alamo at Sumter. The Alamo is a war memorial, a sign of respect and federal law. The Alamo is right out there on the other side of the hotel. It's called the Shotcut Patio Alamo. It's got hooked up on the floor, a little Adrian, great little short test. You have no idea what I'm talking about? Because I just said the word Alamo like 20 times in one sentence. You know what the word is? The Alamo is an old standing church. That's called a mission. And it was the site for a very tragic, very noble, very historic 13-day battle that took place up there and ended on March 6, 1836. It was a key battle of the Texas Revolution. You had 189 Texans defending the Alamo against over 4,000 of the Mexican soldiers, led by Santa Anna. It's a really cool history, a very, very good stuff. Like a long time ago, Texas was part of Mexico. We had our own little fight for freedom. We broke off, became our own independent nation, the Republic of Texas. And we remained our own country for almost 10 years, in 1845, when we joined up with the U.S. A lot of really cool history. If you don't care about the history, if you didn't know you were getting on a historic narrated tour, now you're just trying to tune me out, because all you want to do is get like 6 Facebook Live videos, drink and party, have a good time. That's cool, there's nothing wrong with that. This is the party side of the river. This is like River Square, it's the heart of the Riverwalk. Renovated in 1972, it's one of our most popular areas today, primarily because we have got literally any type of food that you can think of. Everything. We have Texan food, Mexican food, everything. Not a lot of cultural diversity here, but we got a lot of really good text, a lot of really good Mexicans. We've got 64-ounce margaritas. We got fresh caught duck every day, right? Patitos, taquitos, muy sabroso. You got the mariachi playing music. Pretty cool. This is really where the Riverwalk started, right down here. If you look on my right-hand side, it's kind of a cylinder-shaped building in the corner. It's got a name on the box, and there's a statue down there. That's that guy we talked about, the father of the Riverwalk, Robert H. Hugman. After he stopped the flooding by putting in that flood channel, he put his office right down there on that bottom floor in 1941. And that was the very first business to be actually down here on the water. He was trying to set the example and show people that it's not safe to have stuff down there. Nobody believed it. They've been scared of the flooding for hundreds of years, so they all told him he was a fool, so he was going to drown like a rat in his own hole. It was pretty hard, but he proved everybody wrong. He proved that it was safe. And then about 5 years later, Casa Rio, on my right-hand side, opened their doors in 1946 as the first restaurant on the river. These guys are the ones who started the whole idea of riverside dining. They started the water taxis, the tour boats. They really blew up and took off because of Casa Rio. You gotta be kind of quiet right here, guys. You don't want to startle them. There's sudden movement. If you look over here on my right-hand side, we've got a small herd of tulips in their natural habitat, grazing peacefully along the river. Look at that. Beautiful creatures. You can wave at them. Yeah, you can wave back at them. All right. Don't get too close. Tulips are kind of territorial with their tips and their beard. They're kind of hostile when they're feeding. You know, they're usually never feed the tourists. That's a mistake. This little tunnel back here, this is called the man-made extension of the river. You guys are not going to believe this, but we call this part the man-made extension because this is man-made. It's in the river. We carved this entire area straight out of here during the 1960s. We're going to get rid of the World Fair in 1968. The World Fair is a pretty big deal. We had a audience coming out here. This is very safe, very easy way to get around while staying down here on the river. The idea was you could just walk along these sidewalks and see everything. Or you were really smart, you could hop on a boat, right? Because walking is for peasants. Nobody wants to do that. It's gross. This is how you cruise around like royalty here. These are the common folk. You guys are VIPs. We're going to do this. Now, if you look on my left-hand side, this building with all these flags, that is the Chamber of Commerce building. The Chamber of Commerce building is a building where literally nothing exciting ever happens. It never ever will, the Chamber of Commerce building. But it is very important to the city. So I am required to talk about it. I am required to say that it is very important to the city. That was the best that I could do. I'm doing it. Every tour you guys take has to cover the same 33 key points. But technically, all I have to do is just drive you all in a circle and say 33 names and dates. Now, if I did that, if I just ran through names and dates, you guys would hate me. It would be terrible, you know? So, every folk captain gets to elaborate with their own style. Some of us go slow, we tell cheesy jokes, we elaborate a lot, we just never shut up. Other guys are actually pretty funny. Some of these guys will tell you in the most monotone voice that I've ever heard in my entire life. I don't want to name any names. I don't want to call anybody out, but if y'all ever come back down here, you take Brandon's tour, exactly what I'm talking about. You know? It doesn't matter who you get in history or how you get in history, who you get in from. It's the same history. I like to elaborate. I like to throw the cheesy jokes in more for my benefit than yours, because I do this like 15 times a day, and I just keep myself entertained, and I genuinely think that I'm pretty funny. I get a kick out of it, you know? The history is really all that matters. Now we're gonna go ahead and stop. We have a little stop sign up here in front of us. Normally I'd roll right through this thing because that makes sense right there. But we got a police foot right here behind us. We're going to do a full 3-second stop. Maybe you'll get a ticket out here. Run the stop sign. Why that stop sign's there though, I have no idea. While we're stopped here, if you look on my right hand side, there's that giant tower up there. Tower of the Americas. The second tallest freestanding tower in the country. Built back in 1968 for their World Fair. Got a really cool rotating restaurant up there called Shotcut. On the left-hand side, that statue right there is St. Anthony. That is San Antonio de Padua, the namesake for the river and the city, and a gift to us for Portugal back in 1968 for the same World Fair. And on that note, guys, I hate to say it, but we have now come around to the hardest part of the tour. Probably the hardest thing that I've ever had to do in my life. What?
Oh,
I know that time flies, and think about it, guys. We've bonded. We've laughed, we've cried, we've run over ducks together. You guys are now accomplices in that crime. You know, I feel like we've really grown close. The tour's gonna end right up here. So look around real quick. Make sure you have all of your personal belongings. People leave things on here a lot. If you do see anything important on the boat, you can always find your stuff tomorrow morning on the website, www.competitive prices, free condition. I'm looking out for that. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the tour. Hopefully y'all learned something here. If you guys did for a job well done, it's very important you know you can always keep your boat together. It's very much appreciated.
Hi, if you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe because in 2022, I'll be going to at least 20 states on a road trip, and I will be doing a 16-day cruise through the Panama Canal, where I will be showing you all of the food and the culture and the things that you must see in each one of these ports. So please follow and join me on the ride.